There we go. We should be live now. Let people get in here. Give it some time. Atlanta Motor Speedway. Pseudo Speedway. It's what we have talked about on Stacking Denny's. I just tweeted out a private DraftKings contest. If anybody wants to get on that, it is $10 to enter. Make sure you get in on that. Making sure that these lives are going. There we go. Just fired up the optimizer. Oh, Atlanta's fun. Daytona was fun last week. We had some good discussion here. I don't think Nick is going to be able to join me today, but yeah, Daytona was fun. I think we both lost in the Millie Maker, but overall not a bad day. Up on the bettings, up on the bets. Good. Lost like a couple $100 in DFS, which I wasn't too worried about. I'm used to losing my ass in Daytona just because of the strategies I take. But happy with the low call or underweight call on Blaney. And yeah, so now we move to Atlanta, which is it's a little different than Daytona. You know, people like to throw in Daytona, Talladega, and this new Atlanta. And for anybody that's looking at Atlanta data, make sure you're not looking at anything prior to 2022. They repaved and reconfigured this racetrack prior to that season. So really only the last 4 races here at Atlanta are worth anything. Luckily, all 4 of those were with the next gen car. So gives us a good set of data. And the one thing that we've recognized that's kind of different between Daytona, Talladega, and Atlanta is Daytona, Talladega, you know, it's always just go for place differential. The thing with Atlanta is you have to consider dominators. Now we really can't predict fastest laps dominators, but what we can predict or try to predict are the dominators with laps led. And what we've seen 3 of the 4 races on this new Atlanta racetrack, we have seen a driver lead 90 or more laps. And it's certainly possible to happen again today. Michael McDowell's on pole. Joey Logano qualified second. Logano led 100 laps here in the past. And in this race last year, he led it from the pole. He won from the pole. He was in the optimal lineup. So it's not we just have to take a little bit different mindset. And I think you have to build lineups with at least one dominator in mind. And with, if not 2, you know, I've built lineups already, you know, going with like a Logano Byron build or a Blaney Byron build or even like a Logano Larson, which is getting pretty risky there. But I do know that I have a couple lineups with those 2. You know, Larson's up there. McDowell, I don't have a ton of McDowell. I just don't see him leading a bunch today. I don't think he has the not the drive, but just it's not his MO to really go out and lead laps. So I think Logano is the most likely dominator in this race. Starting second, he looked great at Daytona, and I don't want to rely too much on how cars looked at Daytona, but it's somewhat relevant to the speed that we should see here at Atlanta. Joey Logano had an absolute rocket ship at Daytona, and I have no doubt that he's going to have a great car here at Atlanta today. So definitely looking at Logano as a main dominator. Throw in Michael McDowell, throw in a Kyle Larson, William Byron starting 11th. He can dominate. Ryan Blaney, you can never count out that Penske Ford. You could even do Logano Blaney builds as well, as I was talking about before with Logano Larson. But so what's going to happen today? Will we see pack racing or single line like last night? I think we're going to see a lot of riding around today. I don't think it's going to be a very exciting race, and I think the only way that we're going to really, see some excitement is if drivers like Ross Chastain or someone aggressive enough actually makes some moves. But I think it's gonna kind of be like Daytona, where it's tame for most of the race, and then we kind of maybe get some excitement at the end. But I have not been a fan of this new Atlanta ever since it was unveiled. So I'm glad to see people are realizing that this new Atlanta track really isn't that good. Hopefully we get a good race. I'm not sitting here rooting for a bad race. I'm just saying likely, or the likelihood of it isn't great in my opinion. So, but looking at, the last 4 races here at Atlanta, at the new Atlanta, best average finish, Chase Elliott, Eric Jones is up there, Ryan Blaney's up there, Brad Keselowski's up there, Suarez, Justin Haley, and then Corey LaJoie has been very strong here at Atlanta as well. And he's sure to be, I think he's going to be a decently popular pick, but I also think that he's going to be underweight, as he typically is when it comes to DFS and super speedways. He is one of the best super speedway racers in the series. And, I think he's a great play today. I wrote him up in my article. I think he's a great play. So, Chase Elliott starting way back in 28th. He's going to be a popular pick. There's a very chalky lineups. There are very chalky lineups that you can play. Eric Jones starting dead last. We can talk about him. Whether, last week I was all on the Blaney, going underweight on Blaney. And now, Eric Jones, I'm not really on the fade Eric Jones train at all. Actually, I'm more than comfortable going super heavy on Jones, and if that's what kills my lineups today, then that's what kills my lineups. But so Connor says, I love Bowman starting P17, best Hendrick car last July, ran top 10. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I have quite a bit of Bowman, to be honest with you. And my projections love Bowman. For those that have not signed up for my content over at Rotoballer, use code Jordan24. You're going to get 25% off there. But yeah, I think Bowman's a great play this week. I like being heavy on Hendrick overall. Like we can start a build here right now. Chase Elliott, you go Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, give me Eric Jones, and then throw in Byron there as well. So you got the core Hendrick build right there. You have an average of $7,000 left over. You could do something, come down here and grab. This is where I get a little confused, or not confused, but I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to go fully today, is down here in this lower dollar range. Like I said, I like Corey LaJoie. He's pretty expensive though at 6,800. I think that's going to temper his ownership a little bit. So I don't hate going LaJoie with this build. I don't like going LaJoie though, because it's only going to leave you 7,200. So I'm going to come down here, and my projections and the track record really like Justin Haley. I am very concerned about Justin Haley's reliability of his equipment. So, if we're talking Justin Haley, yes, he has been ridiculously good here at the new Atlanta. He's in a Rick Ware racing car. I know that car ran up front at Daytona last week. It also had mechanical issues. I'm going to have quite a bit of Haley, just based on my optimizer build. I don't know how much I'm going to land on him here with these manual builds, but Haley's like one of those make or breaks this week, and I don't know where I land on the fence with him, just in my mind. But one guy that I do like as a sleeper this week, I've pretty much been talking about him all week, is Josh Williams in that 16 car. Same car that just finished top 10 at Daytona, with AJ Allmendinger behind the wheel. Josh Williams, he's outran his equipment every time he's been in the Cup Series, so I like that. And I like that nobody really knows who he is or like what he's doing. This is his first start. He's only made like 4 career Cup Series starts. So when you have that and you have these massive fields of DFS, players, he's going to be super low owned. And here's the thing: he's starting 30th. He's in a college car. He's super cheap. He has plenty of place differential upside. I really like being heavy on Josh Williams this week. So I'm going to throw him in on here. It's going to leave us $9,000 in salary to play with. And, I think you can come down here and you have your pick. You can go Bubba Wallace. You can go Ross Chastain, Ty Gibbs. I think Ty Gibbs is a solid pivot there if you do want to get off of Eric Jones. But right now, looking at this build, we got the 3 Hendrick cars. I think Chevy is probably I think Chevy's going to win this race if Logano doesn't take it. So I don't mind here going. I'm going to go Ross Chastain just because he has been so good here at Atlanta. He's been a legitimate contender to win in like 3 of the races. He finished runner-up in the first 2 in 2022. He's had issues. He wrecks. He's aggressive, but you want that aggressiveness here at Atlanta, in this new Atlanta with this. It's a tight track. They need to make moves. Ross Chastain is going to be the guy that makes those moves. He almost won Daytona last weekend. Is it risky to take Chastain? Of course it is, but I'm gonna round out this lineup here. I'm gonna go Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Eric Jones, William Byron, Josh Williams, and Ross Chastain. And I think that's a solid build. I like it. If I would change anything, I'd maybe switch off the Jones, and you can get Justin Haley. But I'm going to go Jones here. I'm going to roll the dice there, and I'm going to go 5 Chevys here and 1 Toyota there with Eric Jones. So yeah, first lineup. Order best to worst: Hocevar, Zane, Haley, Williams, Hemrick. Excuse me. It's so hard to tell. I mean, there's no clear favorite in this. I like Hocevar's aggressiveness. I like that he starts. Where does Hocevar start? 35th. And you could. And I'm not sure if you purposely left him off, but we've got John Hunter Nemechek down there as well. I like Hocevar this week. I'd probably put Hocevar number 1 there. I like Zane Smith as a pivot option. So give me Hocevar, Zane Smith. To me, Hemrick's one of those. I liked him last week at Daytona, and I should like him again this week, just because of where he's at. So give me Hemrick at 3 there. And then it's a toss-up for me between Haley and Williams. Haley has the better track record. Williams is a better tournament play. I'm a tournament type of player when it comes to DFS, when it comes to DraftKings. So minorly, we'll put Williams above Haley there. So yeah. Brad Bell, Chastain. Are you saying like to start a build with Keselowski, Christopher Bell, and Ross Chastain? I think you can do that pretty. The hard part's going to be, what you do, because to me, I don't think you want to go off Eric Jones. I really don't think so. Christopher Bell has shown potential here at Atlanta before, as has Chastain, as we talked about, and Keselowski. You can never count him out. So if you throw Jones on there, it gives you an average of $7,500 left to play with. Come down here. Let's throw Hocevar on there. Gives us 9,100. Not what I was hoping maybe to get up to. I think I'm going to end up right back on Josh Williams here. Could go Kaz Grala. I want to get that Chase Elliott. I know these first couple lineups are pretty chalky, but I like those. My only issue with this kind of build is there's really not a dominator. I think you do need the dominator, and looking back at the last lineup I just did, I have William Byron on there. That was kind of my dominator, but that was pretty much place differential. Could go Kaz Grala in that 15 Ford. Don't love the car. I'd rather go Josh Williams over Grala, even though Grala's 3 positions lower. So, yeah, let me see here. So Josh Williams on here. Got enough you could move up to Byron. You could also here, if you wanted to get off of Eric Jones, because Keselowski Bell, I mean, those are pretty chalky, as is Chastain. I don't know how many people are going to go all 3 in one lineup, but if you want to get off the mega chalk, come down. I don't mind Ty Gibbs. I don't mind Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I saw a comment in here about Daniel Suarez. Yeah, a couple comments in here about Daniel Suarez. Suarez stacking the 20s. Suarez might be my favorite sleeper in that range. I agree. He has very good races here at Atlanta on this new track. Starting there 23rd, it's a really weird position of where people want to go, because you got Jones, Gibbs, and Stenhouse right there above him that are starting further back. So let's go Suarez here. Get that Trackhouse tandem of Chastain and Suarez. It gives us 10-7 to work with. We can get anybody else we want. And we can also come down and maybe save some money and get off of Josh Williams here. Could come down if you wanted to get Blaney. Then it allows you to get Hemrick. Is that too I don't know the word, too contrarian? Maybe not. I'm not sure. But I don't hate this lineup at all. You go Keselowski, Bell, Chastain. You got 3 guys that can win. You got Blaney who can dominate. And then you got Suarez, who's a sleeper, and Daniel Hemrick, you just need him to finish. So I don't hate this lineup at all. And that's another thing with Atlanta this week, going back to Daytona last weekend, it was, salary cap doesn't matter. It matters a little bit more this week because the better cars and the better drivers tend to finish up front at Atlanta. We see the Corey LaJoys and the lower dollar guys, get good finishes here. It's possible, and you definitely need them to round out your lineup. But for the most part, I think the optimal this week is gonna be pretty close to using. I don't think it's gonna be anywhere near what we see at Daytona. I think it's gonna be pretty close to using 49.2 or above of the salary cap. So I don't mind using the full salary cap in lineups this week. I really don't. I think it's a decent play. And if you didn't want to go Blaney here, you could go Byron. That's another solid play in my opinion. But Keselowski, Bell, Chastain. Just a second here. I'm just writing or noting these so I know my exposures. Suarez and Hemrick. I actually have Suarez projected a little bit higher than I thought I did. Go ahead and lock that lineup in there. Priest is really intriguing. Hung around the back half of the top 10 last July. Yes. And this is, I love making lineups for excuse me. I love making lineups for Atlanta this week, just because there is so many ways you can go. The Stewart Haas cars were very fast at Daytona. They got screwed over by that pit cycle. So if they had that same speed, particularly like Josh Berry was really, really fast at Daytona. He's a tournament play, in my opinion, sitting there starting 14th, but it's a risky tournament play because it's still Josh Berry. You still need him to, finish probably top 8 to make sense. He's only 6,000, so you probably don't need a top 8 finish, but you need him, not to screw up. Priest, like you said, is intriguing. 6,500, maybe, is that a pivot off of LaJoy? I could definitely see it. Starting 20th, there's enough room for him to move up. Again, though, I think he's going to need to finish top 10 because LaJoy starting back in 32nd, the place differential points just allows him to score higher overall, doing less than Ryan Priest. So how much of the guys up front you thinking Logano, Rowdy, Blaney? I think you need at least one dominator in your lineup, if not 2. So I'd be hesitant to go too Two of the, two in the top 5 is too much in my opinion. Outside of some lineups, I wouldn't go heavy. I'm fine with one top qualifier in every single lineup this week. I like I like Logano this week. I really don't like McDowell. He's probably gonna go out there and lead 100 laps and just completely prove me wrong. But that's just how it goes. But yeah, I think you definitely need a dominator. And it needs to be a main focus and the start of a build. Oh, who do I like better between Bell, Brad, and Chastain? Probably Bell. They're all so close though. I do like Chastain. Keselowski's the one starting furthest back, but I do like Christopher Bell. So can't hate any of them. I think they're all solid, and I think I think that you can't go wrong even going all of them in one lineup as we just did. So definitely like that. And yeah, we'll start another build here. Let's go. Let's see here. Let's start with Hamlin. Hamlin's an interesting one. He's a very good super speedway racer. Let's roll. Let's go Hamlin. Let's kind of make this a Toyota build here. So let's go Hamlin, Christopher Bell. Come down here and grab John Hunter Nemechek, starting 34th. Eric Jones, another Toyota there. We saw at Daytona that the Toyotas were not great at qualifying, but they had good speed in the race. I think we're going to see similar things here. An interesting play, speaking of Toyota, Martin Truex Jr. there at 12th. His record here at the new Atlanta, pretty decent. 8th place finish here in the first race. But Tyler Reddick sitting there, qualified 19th. How's he done? He's one of those guys that I don't pay a ton of attention to, just on a weekly basis. I don't. He's led laps in 2 of the 4 Atlanta races. He finished 5th here in the first race. Let's throw Reddick on there. Definitely going heavy on the Toyota build here. Don't really have again a dominator. I keep building these lineups. They're a little bit safer than I want to do. Could come down, get off a Bell or off a Hamlin and grab a dominator. But let's just roll this. Roll with this. Leaves us Hamlin, Bell, Nemechek, Jones, Reddick. Come down here, and grab Corey LaJoie if you want. Stenhouse, Suarez, you can't really go. Pretty solid choices there. Could even come down, and grab a Hocevar or something. But I'm gonna go LaJoie here. Gives us $900 to work with, which if you wanted to get off a Bell, you can jump up and grab a Kyle Busch. You can jump up and grab a Kyle Larson, who, Kyle Larson's I think Logano's the favorite according to sportsbooks heading into this race, but Larson's right there on most books as, second favorite, third favorite. He must have got hit pretty hard in terms of by sports bettors. So I'm actually going to take Bell off of this one. I'm going to roll Hamlin, Nemechek, Jones, Reddick, LaJoie, and I'm going to go Kyle Larson. Just to have a little outside dominator here. And we still haven't built a Logano lineup. So definitely need to do that. But mark this one down here before I submit it. There we go. So if I'm coming in, and I'm just initial build, in my mind I know I want to go with Logano, and I know I want to have the guys that are solid plays this week. So started off, go with Logano, hit Chase Elliott. Come down and grab Eric Jones. I really like Corey LaJoy. Gives us an average of 75.5. The rest of the lineup. There's a lot of ways you can go here as far as what you want to do. You could do something like a Christopher Bell. Gives you $6,000 to work with. You can grab Hocevar, you can grab Zane Smith, Hemrick, Haley, Kaz Grala, Josh Williams. Again, I like Hocevar. If you wanted to get off of Bell, come up and grab a Keselowski, you could do that. I personally like Christopher Bell a little bit better. To really, if you really wanted to jump down. So I'm going to submit this lineup, and then I'm going to do a little variation of it. So we got Logano, Elliott, Jones, LaJoy, Bell. And then to wrap it off, or to cap it off, I'm sorry. Let's go Hocevar here. I don't hate Zane Smith though either. Honestly, I don't hate doing both lineups. Zane Smith starts 29th. Hocevar starts 35th, so obviously there's more place differential upside there. Let's go for this one. Let's go Zane Smith. Put that one in there. And then let's do that same build. Let's go Logano, Elliott, Eric Jones, Corey LaJoy. Now, if you come up and grab a William Byron, just like that, Josh Williams falls into place. Plenty of, $100 left on the salary cap. I don't hate this lineup at all. I actually like it quite a bit. So Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Eric Jones, Corey LaJoy, William Byron, Josh Williams. Submit that one. Let's see who we haven't used here yet. We don't have any Truex. And if you want to get off LaJoy, I think it's not a bad idea. You could, if you want to get these top tier, higher priced drivers, there's plenty of drivers in this sub 6 range. And even, Nemechek and Hocevar there, or Nemechek above 6. But if you can grab 2 of them as a pivot off of LaJoy, and those are your need a top 20 place differential, low dollar plays, that's not a bad option either. But let's do a lineup that's kind of all mid-tier drivers, or not really going with the highest and lowest. So going to come down here in this range. Give me we still need a dominator. So I'm gonna grab Kyle Larson there at 9,500 as a dominator. Let's go Ross Chastain. So we got Larson, Chastain. Give me Bowman. Give me Eric Jones. You can grab Suarez here. Gives you 8,400. I was hoping to have a little bit more there. Instead of Bowman, let's go Ty Gibbs. Gives you 88. Come up and grab Bubba. Again, using that full lineup. But you have a really solid core here of really good drivers that can all challenge for a top 10 finish. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this lineup in as well. We'll make a little variation of it as well coming up. So we got Larson, Chastain, Ty Gibbs, Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, and Bubba Wallace. John Hunter Nemechek and Chastain, or Bell and Zane Smith. Let me see here. It's close. It's close. Probably give me John Hunter Nemechek and Chastain. Probably, but it's close. I mean, that's a toss up to me. So last lineup we started with Larson as the dominator. Ended up with Jones, Chastain, Suarez. Bubba Wallace, Ty Gibbs. So to get up and grab, a Logano, a Blaney, there's Kyle Busch there. Kyle Busch let's do Kyle Busch. So if I'm doing this type of thing, I'm probably just going to take Bubba off and come down and grab Tyler Reddick and call it a day. Maybe grab Bowman. Oops, not Buescher. Buescher's an interesting play there, starting at 7th though, if he can dominate. But yeah, so you got you got a dominator here in Kyle Busch, who, if you remember how strong he looked at Daytona last week, he could dominate this race. I think Logano's the favorite to dominate this race, but Kyle Busch could do it. You got Ty Gibbs, who has shown potential here at Atlanta. Starting 25th, he's got that place differential. Alex Bowman, a little bit of a sneaky play there, starting 17th. Got Ross Chastain. I kind of want to get off Chastain. Suarez and Eric Jones. So what if we did this? Let's cut Suarez off. Come down here and grab LaJoy. Could this be a lineup where you go 2 dominators and grab a Larson too? I'm gonna go Christopher Bell here. So Eric Jones, Corey LaJoy. Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, Ty Gibbs, and Kyle Busch. I think that's a pretty solid lineup there. Get you a dominator, get you guys that can finish up front overall. Let's see here. I'm a bit concerned with Legacy. They were struggling last year, and from my understanding, they don't have a tech data relationship with Gibbs. I mean, it's probably going to take a while for them to get the kinks out, but I'm not worried. Like, I'm not concerned. Nemechek and Jones finished 7th and 8th last week at Daytona. So I have no concern about Legacy Motor. They were simply super loose in qualifying. Jones especially. Like, Jones's car had a demon in it. So I'm not concerned. And if that's what kills me today, that's what kills me. But I'm not concerned with Legacy Motor Club here at Atlanta this week. Or today, I mean. So I still think they're very solid plays. Eric Jones is such a good, and unless their cars are that far off, it's just not, I'm not worried about it. So let's do a Blaney build. Let's do a Logano and Blaney build. How about that? By the way, these last 2 lineups took Chase Elliott off, which he's going to be one of the highest owned guys this week. So let's do, we got Blaney Logano, so we got two pretty decent dominators. I don't love starting two guys that far up front, but we'll make up for it with place differential with the rest of the lineup. So we're going to go Eric Jones. Come down here. I'm going to grab John Hunter Nemechek, starting 34th. There it leaves us 76.50 per driver remaining. So if we throw LaJoy on there, it gives us 8,500 and get up to Reddick. I kind of want to go. I want to get another guy, up here in these. Maybe Chase Elliott gives us 5,500 if we go with Chase Elliott. Daniel Hemrick, Justin Haley. Man, I'm just going to roll. This is pretty chalky with John Hunter Nemechek on it. So I think the move here with John Hunter Nemechek, Chase Elliott, Eric Jones, and then the two Penske cars, I think that's decently chalky. So my mind says go to Hemrick here, or Josh Williams. Come down and grab Josh Williams. I don't think I have one lineup so far with Hemrick. I'm going to go to Josh Williams. I've been talking him up all week. I might as well, double down here. So Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Eric Jones, John Hunter Nemechek, Josh Williams, and Chase Elliott. Now, this is a with a lineup build like this, you're really relying on the John Hunter Nemechek and the Josh Williams to not outperform, but go have at least a decent race. You need both of them because Chase Elliott should be good, Eric Jones should be good, and Logano and Blaney can win this race. So you need those guys to do what they're expected to do, but you don't have like the last two guys. They're not the best drivers. They're not the best cars. It's not like one of those, average builds that we just did. So I don't hate this build. I still like the upside with these guys in the back, but this is not a risky build, but it's not, I don't love the build. How about that? Could come down, take Chase Elliott off and go with Christopher Bell and then take off Nemechek and go to LaJoy. I like LaJoy. I trust LaJoy. I don't trust John Hunter Nemechek. I just like his upside. I trust LaJoy. I trust Chase Elliott to get there. I pretty much trust Christopher Bell to get there. So I'm going to submit this, but I'm going to redo it as well, cutting down off of Chase Elliott. And just go a little different variation and see if we can attack that $7,000 to $8,000 range. So start with Logano Blaney. I'm going to throw Josh Williams on here just as a placeholder. I think Eric Jones is a solid play here. So average 82.50 now with these last two. Last two spots. Again, I like Ty Gibbs. If you want to come down here, let's throw Suarez on here. Leaves us 92. You can come up and grab Bell. I like that. Not talking enough about Truex, and that kind of concerns me. He's just in such a weird. I'd rather have Christopher Bell starting 22nd than Truex starting 12th. But we know Truex can usually get it done. If we wanted to go Ty Gibbs, I do like Ty Gibbs a little bit more than I like Suarez. So let's roll with Suarez, and then let's stick here with Christopher Bell. Actually, screw it. Let's go Truex or Bubba. So this is what's fun because you have so many ways you can go with these. I'm going to go Bubba here. Yeah. So we got Logano Blaney. Josh Williams. You can actually get off of Josh Williams here if you want and come down here and grab. I'm going to go Haley. I'm just going to get off Josh Williams here and go Justin Haley. So we got Logano Blaney, Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, Bubba Wallace, and Justin Haley. Lock that lineup in. Yeah, Buescher. I mean, I just don't love Buescher's starting spot. But it's like it feels like one of those weeks I could be overlooking Chris Buescher. You know, it's certainly possible. So it's starting ninth. I just don't. I think he's going to need to dominate to get there starting ninth. And I'd rather have a Ryan Blaney. I'd rather have a Joey Logano. I'd rather have a William Byron than I would Buescher. So that's where I'm at with that. Let's go here with. I do like Kyle Busch. I feel like I don't have enough. I'm not giving enough love to Kyle Busch. So let's roll Kyle Busch. Do a Byron Elliott, Eric Jones. If you put Corey LaJoie on there, it gives you $5,700 to work with. You could get Zane Smith or Daniel Hemrick. I actually don't hate this build at all. You can go toss up here. You can come down and grab Haley. You can grab, Josh Williams. This is pretty chalky, though, going Byron, Elliott, Jones, LaJoie. So that would make me want to go Hemrick here, just to differentiate a little bit. Could go Zane Smith, could go Josh Williams. I'm going to go Hemrick. So Kyle Busch, William Byron, Chase Elliott, Eric Jones, Corey LaJoie, and Daniel Hemrick. So we've done 10 lineups so far. Nine of them have Eric Jones on them. And like I said, I have no issue with that at all. That's how strong I feel about Eric Jones moving up today. Let's start here with Christopher Bell. I'm going to do a non-Jones lineup here. Give me Ty Gibbs. I haven't built a Carson Hocevar lineup yet, so give me Carson Hocevar. Gives us an average of 9,000 to work with here. And Jones just fits so well into being able to afford those top guys. Let's roll Bowman here. Gives us an average of 95 to work with. If we come up and grab, I was going to say Elliott. Also thinking Byron. Let's grab Elliott here. You got Bubba, Chastain, Reddick. Chastain's my pick out of the three. But I'm going to go Reddick here just to be a little bit different. Gives you an additional 700 to work with if you didn't want to go Hocevar. Come up here and grab a Ryan Preece. I'm still going Hocevar for the place differential, though. It's a little too much for me to give up there. So Christopher Bell, Ty Gibbs, Carson Hocevar, Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, and Tyler Reddick. Lock that one in there. I do not have a ton of Denny Hamlin. I just realized. So let's start with Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Eric Jones, let's grab Keselowski, throw Josh Williams just to see what kind of cap space I'm working with. So that can give us, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, or Tyler Reddick. If you want to come down and grab Bowman, you could do that as well. I'm actually going to grab Bowman here. Leaves us $600 if you don't want to go with Josh Williams. If you want to go Justin Haley, if you want to go Tyler or Daniel Hemrick. Not really interested in Harrison Burton. I don't hate BJ McLeod as a like deep pick, but I'd rather go Josh Williams, especially with 20 lineups. I'm at 15%. All right, I have 3 lineups now with Josh Williams. How many do I have with Justin Haley? I only have 1 with Justin Haley. So I'm gonna grab, instead of Josh Williams, we're gonna go Haley here. So Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Brad Keselowski, Eric Jones, Alex Bowman, and Justin Haley. If you guys have any recommendations or you want to, start a build a certain way, just leave a comment. Still got 8 lineups to go. Just wrapping off these 20 lineups. So, yeah, let me know. I need to get another Hamlin lineup in there, though. So let's start off with, I'm saying so a lot, and I understand that, but I'm just realizing it as I'm talking. Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano gives us 2 dominator potentials there. Hamlin also has a little bit of place differential upside. Going to grab Eric Jones. I don't think you can go wrong there. Got to come down here and grab a lower dollar guy, I believe. Don't have enough Hocevar. I still like Hocevar a lot. So if you went LaJoy, I'd give you $8,500 to work with. You could grab Reddick. I kind of want to go up a little bit, maybe grab a Bell or Keselowski with this. So I'm going to cut LaJoy off. We got Hocevar there. If you went down to John Hunter Nemechek, gives you enough. You can grab Christopher Bell. I like that. But let's go Truex just to be a little bit different here. Let's roll Truex. So you have 2 decent place differential plays with Hamlin. You have 3 deep place differential plays with Jones, Hocevar, and Nemechek, and then you have a dominator with Joey Logano. You also have dominator potential with Hamlin and a little bit with Truex. But let's roll with this lineup here. Just to kind of get off that, I have quite a bit of Christopher Bell today. So Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Eric Jones, Carson Hocevar, John Hunter Nemechek, and Martin Truex Jr. Still like Byron here. Give me Byron Larson. Let's start a build this way. Byron Larson, Eric Jones. Let's go Corey LaJoy. We haven't really picked a Stenhouse, so let's go Stenhouse and Alex Bowman. I like that. Could also go down to Gibbs. I don't mind Gibbs at all. I think Gibbs is a solid place differential play. I am gonna go Gibbs. So we got Larson as a dominator. Byron can lead. Actually, no. I'm gonna stick with Bowman. Another Hendrick, Chevy. Without Chase Elliott, though. So off of that chalk, I probably don't have enough Chase Elliott lineups. So William Byron, Kyle Larson, Eric Jones, Corey LaJoie, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Alex Bowman. Lock that lineup in. All right, here's a suggestion. Stack Hamlin, Bell, and Byron Elliott. Man, that's not going to leave us much cap, is it? 5,300 left. I mean, you have to go. I think you'd have to go Josh Williams and Justin Haley or Daniel Hemrick. It's about all you can do there. Yeah, I'm right there. I'm right there with you. Haley Williams. That's probably what I'd end up doing, if not Hemrick. You know, to me, I don't trust Haley's equipment. Hemrick's a sneaky DFS play. Yeah, get you off the Jones chalk. You really don't have like an upfront dominator to play or to work with. But yeah, I'm gonna go here with Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Josh Williams, and Justin Haley. You fading the 34. I think I'm just letting him beat me if he gets there. I agree. I really don't have any interest in going McDowell. If he leads the most laps today, then it is what it is. And I'll die and my lineups will be dead. But I don't have any interest in playing McDowell at 7,700 from the poll when he has shown that he's not going to try to stay up front. You know, he's one of those guys that if someone pressures him for the lead early in the race, McDowell's probably just going to let him go. I think he has a very good car, but I also recognize the fact that Joey Logano's up there, Kyle Busch is up there, Ryan Blaney's up there, Kyle Larson's up there, and they can all lead as well. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm fully on board with fading McDowell, and I haven't built a single lineup here with McDowell in it. Isn't Joey the obvious dominator play that overtakes McDowell and leads 100 laps? Yeah. Most likely Joey Logano is going to lead the most laps today. And then you have the outside guys of, you know, maybe a Kyle Busch, a Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson. If Byron gets up there, if Hamlin gets up there, they can. But most likely, I think it's going to be Joey Logano today when it comes to laps led. So if I'm building, you know, if I'm starting my lineup off with a dominator, it's typically going to be Joey Logano. Here's one. Hamlin, Suarez, Keselowski. Okay. So give me Hamlin, Daniel Suarez, Brad Keselowski. Still, I'd like to get a dominator on there, so I want to throw like a Larson on there if we can. Maybe a Kyle Busch, depending on how much is left. So Larson gets us to an average of 6,700. Come down here. I don't have a lot of Hocevar today, and I want a decent chunk of Hocevar. I like his driving style at this track. I like that he's starting 35th. So give me Hocevar. Gives us 7,500. We can run up and grab Stenhouse, or we could. If we come down here and grab LaJoie, it gives us room to move off of Larson if we want. So we got Hamlin, Suarez, Keselowski, and then I like the Hocevar LaJoie build, and it gives us room if we want to go up to Blaney, we can do it. If we want to grab Byron, we can. If we want to go chalk place differential and just go Chase Elliott, we can do that. Obviously, Christopher Bell's there. I'm going to with this lineup. I'm going to go. I wish there was $100 left over to grab Logano, to be honest with you. I'm going to go off of Hocevar. I know I just said I need more lineups with him, but I'm going to go down to Zane Smith. Grab Zane Smith, and that gives me enough for Joey Logano. I like that. Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski. Daniel Suarez, Zane Smith, and Corey LaJoie to round out the rest of that lineup there. Save that. Got 4 lineups left. Let's who do I not have enough of? I did like that previous build there with Blaney as well. So let's go Hamlin, Keselowski, Suarez, Eric Jones, Hocevar, LaJoie. Oh shit. What did I screw up here? How did we get Blaney on here? Oh, there was no Eric Jones on that last lineup. That makes sense. Yeah, so we went Hamlin, Keselowski, Suarez, Logano for the Dominator. I'll throw Larson on this one. Come down and grab Josh Williams. Actually, I'm going to go Haley here. Just kind of even out my exposures. Actually, Going to go Josh Williams. And that gives us space to either go Larson as a Dominator, Kyle Busch as a Dominator, or Chase Elliott as a place differential play. I'm going to go Kyle Busch here. Yeah, give me Kyle Busch. So Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones. I actually kind of want to get off Suarez here. I know that was the main build or the recommendation, but I want to have a little bit more Stenhouse exposure, so I'm going to grab Stenhouse here. Stenhouse, Josh Williams, and Kyle Busch. Uses the full $50,000 in salary cap. Keselowski, LaJoie, or Logano, Nemechek. I'd probably rather go. I mean, depending on the rest of your build, if you don't have another Dominator in that lineup, I think you go Logano, Nemechek. If you do have another potential Dominator, then Keselowski, LaJoie is a decent way to go as well. So again, I said so. Damn. Let's do this. Right now I got 6 lineups out of 20 that have Logano in it. I only have 3 that have Blaney. So I want to increase my Blaney exposure here. Give me Blaney. Gonna go Chase Elliott. Come down and grab Ty Gibbs. I want to get more Hocevar. I don't have enough Hocevar. I only have 2 lineups with Hocevar in it. So give me Hocevar. Average of 8150 left for this. That gives us room. You can go Bowman Jones here. Don't hate that. If you want to go a little bit higher, you can go Suarez and then like a Bubba Wallace or a Chastain. If you go Suarez, it gives you $9,000 to work with. Man, I wish you had the extra $100 to just jump up there and grab Bell. So if we did this, come down here and grab, let's go Hocevar and Nemechek. Gives us 10-1, and then we can grab Byron as well. 3 heavy hitters and Elliott, Blaney, Byron. I don't know if I love Gibbs, Hocevar, Nemechek to round that one out, though. Come down and pivot off of Nemechek and go to Barry. Again, I'm going to do that just to differentiate this lineup a bit. Again, you can go Jones off of Gibbs here if you want. I'm just gonna to be different here. I'm gonna go Elliott, Blaney, Byron, Josh Berry, Ty Gibbs, Carson Hocevar. Oops. Thoughts on Chastain? I think he can win this race. Yeah, he was my early week pick. He looked good at Daytona. He's been good here at Atlanta. I really like Chastain this week. I don't have enough lineups with him in it. I only have 3. All for the Atlanta Optimals leave a lot of money on the table. Probably need shares of that in the 20 max. I agree with you. I'm not building entirely smart here. If I'm building 150, I'm gonna have lineups that leave money on the table. But right now, I'm just kind of building these for fun and not leaving a ton of money on the table. So let's start Chastain here. Go up and grab. Let's grab Christopher Bell. I really like this price range right here. Christopher Bell. Gonna grab Eric Jones. I should do a McDowell lineup just to have exposure, but at the same time, I don't really want to. So right now I have 5 lineups with Josh Williams, 3 with Justin Haley. Let's grab Corey LaJoie here. Gives us an average of 87.50 for the rest of the lineup. You put Bowman on there, it gets us up to 9,300. You can go Kez. I actually don't hate that lineup at all, despite there's no dominator on it. So cut off LaJoie, come down here and grab let's just go Carson Hocevar now. Of course, 100 off from getting Logano. I'm going to go Blaney here. To get that dominator. The thing with leaving a lot of money on the table with lineups this week is there's plenty of place differential plays down here. Lock this one in quick. So got Alex Bowman, Ryan Blaney, Carson Hocevar, Eric Jones. Christopher Bell and Ross Chastain. Oops. Lock that in. We got one lineup. So if anybody has any suggestions, speak now or hold your peace. Give it a few seconds here. Okay, I'm gonna go. Let's go Chase Elliott, Eric Jones, Ross Chastain. Gonna go LaJoy. She an 84 average for the rest of the lineup. I don't have enough Stenhouse. I only have 2 lamps with Stenhouse. Go Stenhouse allows me to get 93, go up to Christopher Bell or Brad Keselowski, but doesn't get me a Dominator. So cut off Stenhouse. Let me grab Ty Gibbs. Get off of LaJoy. Come down to who's a lower dollar guy that I should probably get more of. I'm going to roll Justin Haley here. 10-5 gives me Hamlin, Logano, Blaney, whoever I want here, Byron. Give me Kyle Busch. That also opens the door. I'm going to go off of Ty Gibbs and grab Tyler Reddick. Yeah. So Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick. Justin Haley, Eric Jones, and Kyle Busch. I'm actually going to go Kyle Larson instead of Kyle Busch here. And I'm going to go off of Reddick and go Bubba Wallace. For some reason, I've just never been a huge Tyler Reddick fan. I'm usually low on him when it comes to DFS, but that's it for these 20 lineups built today. Got a little under 3 hours before this slate locks. Make sure you get in. Like I said, there's a private DraftKings contest I have. I tweeted it out. And make sure you get in there. It's limited to 50 spots. Good luck today. Hopefully we see a good race. I'm not overly confident, but I've been wrong before, and I'm sure I'll be wrong again. So good luck to everybody this week at Atlanta, and we'll be back next week talking about Las Vegas and the first non-drafting race of the season. So see you, everybody.